Hi, it's Robin Sharma, and first of all, I want to say welcome to this training series. It is a real joy to be here with you, and I want to, more than anything else, as we start off our journey together, for you to go from where you now are to what I call an everyday hero. That's not only an elite performer, that's not only someone who is massively productive, that's not only someone with a great mindset, heart set, health set, and soul set. It's someone who is building a great life while you make the world a better place. One of my fundamental beliefs is it's really important to do good for yourself and those you love. And it's equally important, maybe even more important, to make sure whatever you do is serving the world. So if you're new to my work, I want to welcome you. If you've been with me while I've been teaching leadership, elite performance, massive creativity, exponential productivity over these past 20 plus years, I want to welcome you back. I will promise you one thing: you will find this training series robust, original, valuable, and more than anything else, of practical value to you as you make your ascent to absolute world class. If you are new to me, let me just briefly share who I am and what you're going to learn in the training series. So I've been teaching, working with a lot of the Fortune 500, whether it's Starbucks, Nike, General Electric, IBM, Watson, or other organizations like NASA, Yale University, Young Presidents Organization, for, as I mentioned, over 2 decades. So what you're going to learn in this training series is not something that I've read in a number of books, or it's not something I've learned from just a few people. I've been working with a lot of the best companies in the world. I've been the private advisor for many celebrity billionaires. I've worked with NBA athletes, NFL superstars, football heroes. I've worked with members of royalty. And I mentioned that to offer to you and really cement to you that what you're going to learn is what a lot of the most high-performing people on the planet have learned from me. And so fasten your seatbelts. We're going to go for a great ride. Before I walk you through the model I want to share with you in this first training video, I'm going to explain why I decided to teach you this model. And the model is called the victim to hero leap. Now, if you look around the world, a lot of people are playing like victims. There's a term I use called the collective deprofessionalization of business. And a lot of businesses today are populated by people who have given away their power. They're really sort of not in their strength. They're not operating from their A game. They are operating as victims. And the reason why I call this theme in business that you see around the world right now, the collective deprofessionalization of business, is because I'd say even most people in most businesses, whether it's a coffee shop, whether it's you get on an airplane, whether it's you go into a hotel, whether you go into a bakery, a lot of people are disengaged. They're checked out. They're not on fire to wow. They are not full of confidence. There's no sparkle in their eye. And by the way, never lose the sparkle in your eye. You know, someone once said, adults are nothing more than deteriorated children. Picasso said it well. He said, you know, it took me 4 years to learn to paint like one of the Renaissance painters. It took me a lifetime to remember how to paint like a child. And part of this training series will not only help you increase your productivity, increase your performance, increase your prosperity, it'll also reconnect you to that childlike sense of awe and wonder that you've probably lost. So in business today, I call it the collective deprofessionalization of business because there aren't that many people who are super professional. There aren't that many people who are bringing on their A game to work. There aren't that many people who are saying, you know what, I can lead without a title versus being a victim. Another theme I'm going to offer to you as we go through this training series is the mass mediocritization of humanity. You know, I think of Steve Jobs. One thing about Steve Jobs is he refused to compromise. He wanted the icons on the iPhone to be so beautiful, consumers would lick the screen. He spent days going through Pantone colors to get the perfect colors for the first iMacs. He spent weeks and weeks looking at the rounding of the edges before the first iMac shipped to make sure it was perfection. He has what I call an obsession with product perfection. Now, that is rare in this world of ours right now. How many people do you know stand for outright excellence? How many people do you know are aiming for the heroic with their health or their mindset or their relationships or the quality of their work or what they stand for in the world? And so all this to say, a lot of people have given away their power, and that just means they're operating as victims. Now you might say, Robin, why do people fall into the trap of not being heroes of their lives? You might say, Robin, why are so many people negative and toxic? Why are so many people busy being busy versus monomaniacally focused on being productive and building epic lives? And I would say it's because of one word, hypnosis. You see, what society does is it brainwashes us. It teaches us a series of beliefs, like fit in, like don't dream too big, like don't sing from your own songbook, like if you take risks and trust your ambitions, you will be ridiculed, called crazy, and be hurt. And so what most people do is they contract, and they don't bring on their originality, and they don't trust their instincts. And this happens as we leave childhood, because in school we're learned to wear the same shirts as other people and talk like everyone else and walk in single file and don't color outside the lines. And this just mass hypnotization continues right through the rest of our lives. So I'm super excited for you, because what we're going to do is any form of victimhood in your life right now, whether it's being a victim around not being in great health, or being a victim around not being in the job that you want, or having the prosperity and income that you want, maybe some form of victimitis, excusitis, the dreaded mind virus is infecting your mindset and heart set, because you don't have the love you want or the family relationships you want. Maybe you just don't like your lifestyle. Maybe you're busy being busy. Maybe you don't wake up every morning with the fire in the belly to go out there and just change the world while you escalate your greatness in your own unique way. And so without further ado, what I want to do is I want to walk you through a model that will really, really deconstruct what I've taught to the billionaires and the members of royalty and the sports superstars and the CEOs that I've influenced and been the private advisor to for these past over 20 years. And it's called the victim to hero leap. Okay, the first leap I want you to make is to move from a mindset of can't to a mentality of can. Ellen Langer is an iconic positive psychologist from Harvard University, and she did a lot of studies of the power of your beliefs. And she came up with a phrase, and I want to give credit where it's due. Her phrase is the psychology of possibility. Now, I gave a keynote presentation in Madrid a little while ago, and two young men drove me from the event back to the airport, and I engaged with them and we were chatting, and they said, I'd love to live in, one in particular said, I'd love to live in Canada, but I can't do it. And during the 25-minute ride from the event hall to the airport, everything he spoke about was can't. You see, your language reflects your beliefs. And he said, I can't go to Canada. And then he inserted some excuse that he probably wasn't even aware was an excuse. And what he said was, well, because my family's here. And then he said, I'd like to be in North America, but I can't because my friends are here. And I'd like to live in the west coast of Canada where the mountains are. It's a dream of mine. I've seen pictures. It really speaks to me, but I can't because I have my job here. And if you recite your excuses long enough, you actually hypnotize yourself to believe they are true. And I'm simply saying, you want to do whatever it takes to hardwire in not some kind of a mindset or mentality of can't, but a belief system of can. You see, I mentioned Steve Jobs. One of the great things about Steve Jobs is his competitors in the industry diluted their dream. Every time someone said, we can't build this kind of a hardware. We can't give you this kind of a screen. We can't make the icons on the screen look like this. They said, oh, okay, let's dilute